Hello, everyone, and your papers will be graded no later than tomorrow at noontime. That's a quick note. Second note, thank you all for the group 2 discussions. I know it says group discussions. It was not group. That's why I told everyone, hey, just send me whatever you had if it was individual, because all of you did great work, great discussions. I really enjoyed reading them all. So thank you all so very much for being patient with myself and Pacific Oaks College. Thirdly, this week's discussion. All I can say is wow for you, but I knew all this happened. Being from the South, being from Louisiana, having relatives in New Orleans at that particular time, still having relatives there to this day, it doesn't surprise me because there has always been tension between the connecting parishes and with the inner city of New Orleans. Now, yes, New Orleans has a lot of heritage, great nostalgia. Just everything about New Orleans is great if you really want to have a good time. But I can tell you this: there has always been racial tension there, and what you read in the book in that chapter is nothing new. Some of you may have never lived through racism. I think I told you my story from an introductory perspective in our first discussion. No, before the first week discussion in the introduction about my experiences growing up in Louisiana. And the way racism is today, I feel it all the time. So nothing surprises me. And it's sad that this face right here is so intimidating to people that don't look like me. And it shouldn't be that way because we were all created equal in God's eyes. Now, yes, we may have different skin color, we may have different likes, different shapes, but at the end of the day, if you cut my hand and you cut your hand, the blood is the same. And whether if you're born here in the United States or your parents were born somewhere else, the United States has always been a welcoming place. But for some strange reason, some people don't welcome the people that live here, which is sad. And when we talk about being of color and white privilege and the things that people that may not look like you and I or whoever, I'm lost for words because it touches me, but it doesn't surprise me because as I said earlier, I grew up in it. I was reading White Like Me and I'm just flipping through the pages, great stories, and the chocolate pain. I don't think that chocolate pain will ever go away for someone like myself. Now, it may for some, women of color, but for a man of color, we are marked, especially black men of color. We're marked whenever we walk in a store. As I said earlier, with this face, I'm sure I don't look that intimidating, but I try to be on my P's and Q's about everything that I do now because I'm not afraid, but just concerned that people may think I'm doing something whenever I'm not, because I've been stopped before and I've been harassed before and asked where I'm going. And I was stopped as recently as about a year and a half ago. My wife and I, we were driving we had just finished working out and we went to Rite Aid to pick up some medicine and we're driving back and the police got behind me and I'm like, okay, so I'm just driving and the lights came on. I pulled over and I'm like, yes, officer, can I help you? He said, well, you have a rosary bead hanging in your window, in your rearview mirror, and we need you to take it down. No problem, officer. Took it down, put it away. Where are you all going? We live in the neighborhood right here. We just passed it up because you put your lights on. We were at Rite Aid and we were working out. Okay. What do you do for a living? I'm in education. She works at USC. And I'm trying to still, for the life of me, trying to figure out, you stopped me because I had a rosary bead hanging from my rearview mirror. That's one instant. Another instant was I was driving home again from Rite Aid. As you all see, I love Rite Aid. And sheriff's department got behind me, and I'm maybe 8-9 blocks from my home. The Rite Aid is not that far from where I live here in Torrance. And so I'm driving, and the lights come on. I pull over. He said, license and registration. Okay, officer, what did I do? Well, there is a, who did he say? A child molester or ex-con that looks just like you, and we thought it was him. He drives a Chevy Tahoe. I said, well, this is a Ford Explorer. And you saw my license. Yeah, but he lives on the same street as you. That's not me. So chocolate pain, I feel it all the time from just being me. And I think I'm a nice guy. The other part is vanilla indignation. Yes, that's very true. And this is a very honest class, so you can speak your mind, all of you. Just tell me whatever you want to tell me. I won't get offended, and hopefully you don't get offended with some of the things that I actually say. But I have a lot of white friends from growing up in the small rural town. I had an opportunity to understand the white culture. Because in the small town I was in Louisiana, it was black and white. It was no Hispanics, no Latinos, no Asians. It was just black and white. You understood. You couldn't date someone white. You couldn't really hang out with them at certain places because it just wasn't cool. And it wasn't tolerated. You knew your place. And everything this chapter says about white indignation is actually true, and it's sad. And I speak with some of my white friends about it, and especially after Katrina. I'll go back to Katrina. Whenever they were building back up the city, and I had some of my white friends were like, and they speak to me freely. I don't judge because I know who they are. I know what to expect. We're tired of all those Latinos and Hispanics coming here. We don't need them here. It's enough we have the blacks. Now, I was told this 3-4 years ago because I still speak with a lot of my white friends in Louisiana. I won't use the words that they use to me towards Latinos and Hispanics. And I'm like, man, really? Say, man, how do you live out in California with all that? And when you lived in Texas, we don't want that here. We're fine. Once again, it's enough. We have to deal with the blacks. Now we have another race of people that we have to deal with. And that's how some people feel. And with the election of the president, it's just added fuel to the fire, which is sad. So I'm looking forward to reading all of your discussions. And please speak your mind. I'm not going to judge you. I won't get upset because I know some of you have a lot of things to say and I want to hear it. And if you have anything to say to me, please say it and I will comment. I love it because I want to get to know who we are as a people in this diverse society that we live in. And we all have to learn to get along because at the end of the day, we all come from the same place. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So good luck. I look forward to reading everything and I will talk to everyone soon. If you have any questions, I will post this on the announcement page since so many people had issues with when I was posting it on the discussion. So once again, good luck. Talk to everyone soon and have a great evening.